everybody, welcome back. We got the rear brake lines in and bled. They're still a little spongy, so I think I'm gonna have to go back and re-bleed some of the air out of them. But as of right now, I'm super excited. I'm gonna fire it up and I'm just gonna roll it back and forth, make sure everything's good. And then I'm gonna take her for a lap around the yard here and see how she performs. I turned the key on and I rotated the front wheels all the way to the right and to the left. I'm pretty dang close since I moved the axle forward to the front fender, so I know I'm going to get some rub in there. But yeah, stay tuned and we'll get some action of this thing sputzing around. Brake fluid. And here comes the rain again. I'm stuck in a hole. First gear. Yeah. Alright, let me see here. I'm going to grab the camera and we'll see if we can get some footage of this thing driving around. Not too far, not too bad in the back. Get around this side. Definitely going to rub. Not even a half an inch there. I'll turn them the other way. That one's a little farther away because it's been bent before and definitely smashed on the rear on that one. Definitely clears in the rear, but the front's going to have to do some mods to it. As the truck sits, it's a little stink bugged in the back. I think I might do a little adjustment on that rear leaf spring and possibly flip them around. They're longer on one side than the other, and on my son's Suburban we went ahead and put the shorter side in the rear and it actually leveled it out. I'm going to try to do the same on this one. Alright, starting to get some rain. I'm going to back all the way up to that fence if I can. That wild dog running around. Seems to be all right. I think I'm gonna, steering wheel's a little off. Let's see here, a second. Hit the block. I'm gonna grab my camera and we will take a loop around the yard. All right, you guys, we got inside. I backed up, went forward. The brakes are still a little spongy for my liking, so I might have to re-bleed them. Make sure there's no leaks. I didn't feel anything or see anything leaking. I had one leaking when we were bleeding it, and I tightened it up, and it seems to have held. But I probably need to re-bleed the calipers in the rear. And I don't have a proportioning valve for the disc on disc. I have the disc in the front, the proportioning valve for the disc in the front, and the drums in the rear. So that might make a difference as well once I do that upgrade. Like I said, we're running the NV4500 5-speed. I don't have the front drive line hooked up or anything like that, so I can't put it in four-wheel drive. My steering wheel is a little cockeyed. We try to align it, driveway align it as best we could till we can get it down to an alignment shop. And yeah, here we go. I'm going to see if I can putz around the yard here without running over the dog. All right, I'm gonna see if I can. I went up it already, but I got my brother video, and I just wanted to get some video and see what the front suspension looks like. And then I'm gonna go ahead and I'll back down it, and I'm gonna turn around and see if I can back up this just to see if we can get some footage of the rear suspension. That was the tire rubbing. I'm definitely gonna have to do something with the front. See how I do going up this in reverse. I won't even budge it. All right, you guys, we're back the next morning. It's still got rain off and on today, 30–40% chance, so probably just gonna be wet off and on all day. I'm gonna take a little break from my Suburban today. I'm gonna head into town, and I'm gonna jump over there and help my son. We're gonna be putting a motor in his new 85 Suburban that he's got, his project. I'll leave a link in the description below if you guys want to see that build. Stay tuned. You guys, we're just a couple miles away from my son's place. I'm going to cut you off here. I've been on the road for about 45 minutes. When we get set up, we'll probably set you up and maybe do a little walk around on his rig and let you know what we got going on and what our plans are for today. So stay tuned, and we'll catch up with you here in a minute. All right, you guys, I made it to town. I'm going to turn you around. I'm going to introduce you to my son, Forrest, and we'll go around and go over his project and what we have in store for today. Tell us what we got going on today on this project.
So right now we're right in the middle of swapping the 12 valve Cummins right there into my Squarebody Suburban that we've done the whole 1-ton swap on, and right now we're gonna connect the NV4500 transmission to it, and we're gonna try to lift the whole thing into the truck with the cherry picker. So we'll see how it goes.
Pulling off shifter.
Yeah, we're gonna pull this shift tower off, and then the next step is we're gonna have to cut a little notch in the front of the frame, that cross member right there, to fit the harmonic balancer of the motor. And after we do that, we should be able to make our first attempt at sliding it in there. I'm just filling these grinder marks right now. All right, so we ran into an issue, and if you come take a look closer down here, the issue being that when we were trying to adapt the transmission, we had a little bit of a gap, like a finger's width gap between the adapter plate and the bell housing of the transmission, the NV4500. What I failed to realize was there's actually 2 adapter plates for different years, and the split year is 1994. Just being new to the diesel stuff, I didn't take that into account because they all look the same. But essentially, this is a week after you guys saw the last video, because I had to order the new adapter plate. But now that we have the plate, we should be able to connect them, put it in. Put the pry bar in between them like that, and that should allow me to just torque this thing down to the foot-pounds it requires, and then should be good to go. All right, now it's time for the clutch and then the flex plate. So we'll get everything aligned. We'll get it on there. So this heavy-duty clutch is pretty heavy, so I might need a second hand with it, but I'm going to give it a shot first. We're just going to try to muscle this thing on there and hopefully get a couple bolts locked down, and we'll see what we can do. Like that. All right, so it can sit there in a free hang. It's going to be very important that we torque all these down in an even fashion so that this clutch alignment tool can slide in and out of the pilot bearing as easy as possible. That way when we go to put the transmission in there, we don't run into any problems with fitment. We just wanted to emphasize how important it is to put that clutch alignment tool in there. Some people even use the end of a transmission output or the input, and that's probably even better because it's longer. It'll stick out like that. But this little plastic one we've got is just what they give you in the kit, and it's so important because if it's not fully aligned, you can try and it doesn't matter how much you try, but it's never going to go in. So having it straight should make it good, and hopefully this is about to happen.
And here we go. Keep going, keep going, keep going. One more. I'd say right about there, give that a try.
All right, so that took a little bit longer than we had initially anticipated. We had to put the camera down, and both of us had to get on each side of this thing and shimmy it in there, but I'm really stoked we were able to get the right adapter plate for this, and it's looking like it's all gonna work. We have good clearance for the clutch fork. Everything's looking like it's gonna tighten down properly. So once we get this torqued down, we're gonna take a quick look at the firewall in the truck, and then I think we're gonna try to lift it in here. Hopefully the cherry picker can handle it. All right, so we got the trans bolted up to the back of the motor here. The one thing that we just realized that I'm missing is some extra bolts to get these motor mount adapter plates mounted up in there. So we're gonna have to make a quick run to the hardware store, go buy some grade 8 bolts for those, and then we should be good to go. So a little update on putting the Cummins in. We got it in. It took a couple hours. We got super lucky because the transmission crossmember for the old 700 R4 that was in here was able to pretty much mate back up. We just had to drill a couple holes for it. And that mounted right to the NV4500. We had already pre-notched the crossmember here in the front for the harmonic balancer. So it slid in fairly easily. We had to take it in and out maybe twice to get the right angle for the transmission to go in there. And then let me show you what we have going on in the front seat. So in the front seat, we've pulled back all the carpet. It looks like a mess right now, but we cut a little hole right here. We had measured for the transmission for the shifter to come through. It sits a little bit farther back than the original manual transmissions that would have came in this truck, set up a little bit higher, but I think it's going to look super clean. So next step, for the end of today, we kind of want to put the carpet back down and cut a nice hole in there, and then get the shifters all buttoned back down, and maybe mount the T-case on the back of the transmission and measure for a drive shaft. I think that would be a good stopping point for today. So a couple more hours, and we'll keep you updated.